My name's Connie Palm. I've got 2 kids. They are grown and adults now, but they were young when I built my habitat house. My daughter is 40. She lives on a farm. 3 kids. She homeschools, grows her own flowers to make bouquets for weddings and things, and grows chickens and sells eggs and all farm stuff. And Cody's an electrician. He has a beautiful home in Sherwood. They both have beautiful homes. They bought their homes young. And I think Habitat helped with them seeing Mom do it, then they did it. It was cool. And my daughter and I were starting to pick out stuff like, for the house, and we did that together. Cody wasn't so interested in that being 13, but Alicia helped me, and it was pretty neat. It was really fun. Once I moved in, I almost felt depressed because I didn't have my around me. You know what I mean? And it was like, okay, this is weird. It's done. It's like I wanted to keep going. So then I started volunteering on the family selection committee. So that was pretty neat. I did that for 6 years. Stability. We were in a duplex, then all of a sudden, when I sold it, and the people that bought it wanted to live on our side first, to remodel it, and then move to debt. So all of a sudden, we're having to look for a house again, And we moved to another duplex, and that's when I started really thinking, when I broke my leg, I don't want this to happen again. It was such an upheaval, packing and moving. I remember some of the older guys, and I don't even know if they're with us anymore because it's been 24 years, but they were just very upbeat, uplifting, kind of very encouraging as I was building my home with them. I remember one time I was on another site helping at somebody else's house, and a neighbor said something kind of not real nice. Something about a free house must be nice kind of thing. And everybody just kind of pulled together and just really said a lot of things to uplift me. It was really cool. And you do have a mortgage. You do make house payment like everybody else. I owned a house when I was married, so I know how that all works. And it's just like that. You have your mortgage, you have your taxes, your insurance, you have to pay for all that. It's not a free house. And people, I found once in a while you get the discrimination. It's a good program. It's for people that need it, and everybody deserves a safe place to, a foundation. When I used to work at Harbor House with the women that were abused, it was like, put your foot on, firm, solid ground, and then you go from there, one step at a time. And that's just like this program. I look at myself and even some other families. I went through chronic illness, losing a kidney to cancer and then ending up with chronic kidney disease and healing from that. And it took many years. Now I'm almost as good as somebody with 2 kidneys. But it was a struggle at first. It wasn't doing what it should have been doing. And if I didn't have my habitat house, it would have been a lot scarier, a lot more stress, just all the way around. And it was just, I was in the right spot when I needed it. I got myself to now, just recently, I'm almost to the function of somebody with 2 kidneys, which coming back from that level of chronic kidney disease is almost unheard of, Amazing journey. I helped Utah pass the lethality assessment protocol after the Petito murder. And because there was a lot of bad press with police and how they handled that, I wanted to kind of loop the cops back in. That's how I did my work at Harbor House. we all worked together. We didn't work in silos, and I saw that as the problem going on in Utah. People didn't know what the other entity was doing. So I wrote out an outline, and they put every single component in that law. So, and now we've gotten it passed in Florida, New York. We're working on Georgia. It was the gathering place. My son had a bunch of friends that just loved to come because we have that ball court close by, the Family Dollar, and they were into basketball big time. And the moms knew I was single. One of them was a school teacher. They would bring pizzas with their, dropping off their child. I'm like, you don't have to do that. They're like, no, we know, they love coming here and we know where they're at. And, it was like the hangout. They loved it. Like, everybody's always over. I feel like I'm running a halfway. She goes, be glad, because you're going to get invited to a lot of weddings when they grow up, which is true. It's pretty cool. On security, safety, and now as I get into the aging population, and I can remodel my house to fit my needs as I age, which is really nice. I have the money to do that now that it's paid off, and I can slowly, get it to where I want it for my retired self, So it's just been a really good experience all the way around. It was like, wow, this happened so quick. I remember about 5 years ago thinking, gee, I have 48 more payments to pay, 52 or, whatever it was. And it's like, that's going to be a while. Yeah, it's done. But wow. It's a happy